Hi, I'm Zach. Welcome to my channel, The Monster Garden, where I do readings with cards with my characters from Monster Garden on them. You can see Monster Garden on my shirt. So today's topic is how to relax during these coronavirus times where we can't do the normal things we like to do to relax. So this is some creative and helpful tips and advice on how to just de-stress and relax in these times. So once again, there's 3 piles. Pile 1 with this nice piece of driftwood. Pile 2 with this fun little beach glass. And pile 3 with this crystal. I think it's made of plastic, but it's just a nice and fun little plastic crystal. So please pause the video if you need to, and take a minute to look at each pile, just see what each pile makes you feel or imagine, and then choose the one that feels like it's for you. Then click on the timestamp in the description to see the reading for your pile. So thank you, and I'm going to start with pile 1. Pile 1, if you chose pile 1, this is your reading. So this is a basic 5-card reading. I'm just going to put them out in this array. Let's see how they go. We've got Reversed Baby. Reversed Baby followed the fun. In reverse, it's a character from my game Monster Garden. There's a link to my game in the description box in case you're curious. Then we've got Reversed Tukas. Boy on a Journey in reverse. Also another character from my game. We've got Ready, Awaiting Orders. We've got the Strength card. Deep Roots. And we've got Reversed Bully. Wow, this is intriguing. Q is the bully character from my game. Interesting, the reversed monsters down the middle, and then the upright humans on the sides. I think for you, you may put a lot of pressure on yourself when you have a spare moment. You're like, okay, now I have to do something I enjoy. Now I have to relax. Now I have to have fun. And it's, of course, that kind of attitude can make it very difficult to relax and have fun. That productive job energy can carry over into the relaxing time if you put the same pressure on you now that, I have to relax, I have to have fun. So the key thing for you is letting go of that pressure. And I feel like the key advice here is just doing something that you want to do. Just doing something, not worrying about are you having enough fun. Just do anything you're ready for that needs to be done. This is the Ready for Action card. It's just like you have everything you need and it's time to step into action. And then the Strength Deep Roots card. This is like a character with superpowers kind of hidden below the surface that aren't necessarily showing. So I feel like you might discover that you find it more enjoyable than you thought just to do something. Maybe just do something that you know you can do, you know needs to be done, even if it's just washing the dishes or whatever. More so than suddenly feeling like you have to be having fun and you have to be relaxing now. All these monsters that you have reversed down the middle all have a similar theme, I think. Especially these two. So this is Baby. Baby just likes to have fun and enjoy the moment without thinking long term. In the reversed position, that can be kind of just spinning out of control in the moment, spinning in circles, just enjoying the short term without thinking long term. And I feel like you might tend to get lost in trying to figure out what do you really want to do, what would be fun, and just ending up, in a tizzy or stressed out about trying to figure things out. And then Tukas is this little kid energy of not being able to accept the adult world of pressure and wanting to just take time and relax for yourself. In the reverse position, it's about really just rejecting that pressure and being like, no, I need time for me, not wanting to rush around. So I feel like this is a common theme for you. And then in the middle, you've got Q, who at first is bullying all the characters in the game, but slowly begins to realize that, in fact, Q, this monster, was the one that's hurting and was just lashing out at others. So in the reverse position, it's like going too hard on yourself, maybe to the point if it causes you to lash out at others. So I feel like you might be having trouble to relax and you're going too hard on yourself to the point that you can't relax, and you maybe are making it hard for the people around you to relax too. That's like this key issue down the middle. I feel like once you start just doing anything that you know can be done and needs to be done, it's going to make you feel more empowered and like you have the ability to do things, instead of kind of feeling trapped in this pressure on yourself that it's easy to get stuck just sitting there thinking, what should I do? What would be fun? No, that's not fun enough. No, I don't really feel in the mood for that. That's going to be a waste of time. I think the key idea is getting out of your head and into your body. These are very embodied cards about superhuman strength and jumping to action. So maybe just start by standing up so that you won't just get stuck sitting there thinking, and just start doing something that needs to be done. And that moving your body will get your mind freed up and also distract your mind. I feel like doing something physical is the key. It doesn't have to be chores. Maybe just go for a walk, and maybe just exercise or do something where your body's moving and you're not just spinning in circles in place. And you can escape this pressure on yourself that you're supposed to be having fun, you're supposed to be healing and resting, you're supposed to be taking downtime. Like, that can just be kind of a weird, toxic pressure on ourselves when we can't even relax because we're pressuring ourselves to relax. But the message of both of these cards is that, like, you have so much strengths, you have everything you need. There's no need to be going hard on yourself at all. This is like physically able, ready for action, ready to make a strategy, having all the abilities and experience you need. And this one is having this hidden strength below the surface that's kind of just playfully there, almost like a fun little secret and surprise that comes to the surface sometimes. So I feel like once you just get your body moving, you'll discover things that you want to do. Things will make more sense and they'll come to the surface, and you'll see more, be able to connect with yourself at a deeper level, and things will make more sense. Maybe you could get a few more cards just to see a little more tips of what you can do in terms of getting your body going, doing something. What kind of things should you do? There's not many cards left in the deck because I don't have so many cards, and there's 5 cards in the other 2 stacks already. Let's see if we can get any card here about a tip for pile 1 for how to move their body, get out of this stuck state. All right, yeah, this is the manual dexterity card. This is about precision, seeing just where to act, just where to strike, or like it's kind of the vibe of picking locks. This very precise manual dexterity. I feel like you should be just doing something to get your hands moving, maybe like knitting, making things, like fiddling with things, taking apart like little objects and putting them back together. Anything to prevent the situation where you're just sitting in a chair, staring at the wall, worried that you're not having enough fun and that you're not relaxing enough. I think this is a physically active hobby, not that it has to be a sport, but something where at least your hands move, at least you're walking around. That's going to be key to getting you in your body and out of your head. It could be gardening, could be, crafting something, building something. It doesn't have to be creating something. None of these are particularly like creative or artist cards. Just doing something with your hands. That's why I was thinking just like picking things up off the floor, washing something, disassembling something and putting it back together just for no particular reason. It doesn't have to be productive, but just doing something in your body, going for a walk, moving stuff around to see how it looks in a different position. And these are things that would be helpful for you to get you out of like this character literally spins in circles, and this one's literally on a little unicycle that's constantly talking about rolling and rolling in place. So you've got the key is getting out of this position of being stuck sitting there with your mind just spinning in circles, spinning your gears without going anywhere. So getting up and doing something is the key thing. Maybe you could adopt a new hobby if you don't already have a hobby that involves using your hands or doing something. It could be the perfect time to start a new physical hobby that involves manual dexterity or making things. And I think you'll find that maybe you're even actually really good at it, like this surprising inner strength. Maybe you'll find out that you love knitting. You're actually amazing at it. You just never realized it. So I think this is a good sign for starting a new hobby. I hope you can find something that you enjoy that gets your body moving and gets you more into your body out of your mind. If this made sense, please comment in the comment section below. I'm going to leave your reading here. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to move on to the next pile. Thank you. Hi, pile 2. Here's your reading. So there's 5 cards. This is just a pretty basic reading. I'm going to put them out in this shape. The top card's kind of like what you could, the more direct advice or like situation, and then this one is like how it's affecting you on a deeper level. Then these are some kind of outside influences on the situation or advice that could help you, and then this one is kind of the key aspect. All right. So we've got Tifa, the time fairy. This is a very fluttering, intuitive, beautiful fairy that's just letting mysterious poetry intuitively flow from her mustache. But in the reverse, this can be kind of just feeling adrift and kind of lost without any grounding force, because Tifa needs something grounding her because she's so intuitive, so mysterious, almost like from another world, that it can end up being disconnected without that grounding force. So I feel like the primary thing is that you feel a little bit adrift or maybe need something to ground you. And what that's really about is kind of getting in touch with yourself, getting in touch with your inner self or your higher self or your deeper self, whatever you want to call it, and trusting yourself, really feeling grounded and stabilized with yourself, not looking to other people to tell you it's time to relax now, really being there with yourself. And I feel like what these cards are saying, what you need is just kind of this surge of loving, supportive, encouraging energy. This is the kind of love goddess card filled with the strength and the power of love, very much like a nurturing parental or grandparental figure that just tells you you're doing a great job. You don't need to worry, just keep doing what you're doing fine. It's kind of like they just look at you and smile, and they're so proud of you. And then this is kind of a powerful leadership card of someone taking charge. Everyone kind of looks to them naturally for guidance. It feels very much like mothering, supportive, nurturing, older figure energy. So I feel like something that gives you this kind of vibe, whether that's connecting with your friends or family who make you feel this way, putting yourself in a situation where you feel really nurtured and loved. I feel like maybe getting back to a childhood state where you had these, maybe you didn't, but potentially having parents looking after you, or the adults were looking after things, making sure they're going round, and the children can just relax and be at ease and know that they're safe and looked after. Whether you had that situation or not, that's just kind of how children are. Children never need to be responsible for things. They should just be letting their guard down and enjoying life. Well, ideally, their family and parents are making sure they're okay. So I feel like getting in touch with this childhood state where you don't have to be in charge, you don't have to be taking care of things, you're supported and encouraged, you're doing just great. So I feel like Maybe doing an activity you used to do that you used to love when you were a little kid is going to help you feel grounded and connected to yourself, because that's the most personal thing, the thing that you loved doing as a child. Usually there's a reason you love to do this childhood activity. Maybe try to think back, what did you just do in your spare time when you had nothing else to do when you were little? And maybe try doing that again to get back in touch with this feeling of just being safe, letting your guard down, exploring. This is interesting. The middle card is the Bobos. So Mr. Bobo is the main character of the game, and the Bobos are kind of like his family or his other sides of himself. This rainbow colored Bobos with different funny personalities. They're all, interestingly, they're kind of funny and childish. Each one's a little impatient and silly. King Bobo, the yellow one, is literally like a little kid in a cape, kind of like Where the Wild Things Are, that feels like he's the king and he's imagining this fun kingdom around him. And they all have a funny kind of immature personality, but kind of endearingly so. They might be stomping their feet and demanding something, but it's just kind of cutely endearing. So I feel like you should do something that allows you to feel like a little kid again and explore all these funny different sides to you, and um, enables you to like feel different emotional states, but just kind of in a funny childish way where you don't take yourself too seriously. Maybe like I'm imagining you like playing with dolls, where this doll is the boss and it's angry, and this doll is something else. Kind of like going through the motions of these different dramatic events, but just kind of playing with it and having fun. Like almost sitting on the floor playing with blocks and dolls or Barbies or something like that. That might sound silly if you're a grown person, but I feel like something like that is going to be good. Something you did as a child, like drawing silly drawings, like singing along with funny songs, where you don't feel like you have to be the one in charge. You feel like you're a little kid again, just playing with little colorful objects. I feel like that's the key thing to help you get in touch with a grounded feeling, not feeling so adrift. Like when we're stuck in this adult mode, it's easy to just feel kind of lost because we feel so distant and disconnected and cut off from all that childlike innocence. I feel like the childlike innocence is what you want and need, and you get that from feeling kind of nurtured and safe, and you can get that from maybe doing some kind of simple childhood activity that gets your mind back to that state of like, I don't have to worry about anything. I'm just going to imagine these little funny things transpiring. I just keep thinking about playing with, sitting on the floor and playing with blocks, or like get out some crowns and draw funny monsters or something, or like mash on a little children's piano. If you have a child, of course, you could play with them, or if you have a dog, also. But whatever it is, something you did as a child, try to remember back when you had free time on your hands. What did you do, and what were the things that just came naturally to you back then? That's often like key advice for our deep passions in life, and even things we should be pursuing as a career, like the themes that really turn you on as an adult. Often you can see them in the childhood interests. So even if it was something small, but just this one time you remember that you really liked watching someone juggle or something, and maybe now you could try that yourself and just mess around with it. And with the colorful Bobos, that's why I'm seeing just lots of like colorful little toys, colorful objects, just having fun with that, letting yourself be a funny, impatient little kid, and maybe you draw a picture and you get frustrated and crumple it up and throw it in the trash can and try again. Just let yourself have these funny little moments with yourself, not throwing a tantrum, but I mean, let yourself have your different emotional responses. Maybe normally you would never crumple a drawing. That's so bad or something. Let yourself just do these silly, childish things. No worries about being the adult in the room. And I think that's going to help you feel this safe childhood feeling and feel more grounded and connected to yourself, and not just adrift and cut off from your inner child. Let's see if any other cards come up. I feel like this is a pretty nice reading so far, and maybe some other practical tips of what kind of activities you could do to kind of have this fun childhood state. Let's see if any cards come out. Nurtured childhood. Oh, there we go. And yeah, it's the creation card. This is the visionary artist card. This is just selfishly creating the things that you want just for yourself. No one else understands them. You're just bringing your world to life, the world of your imagination. So it could be something creative, just like basically making whatever you want, whatever inspires you, whatever kind of things you used to be inspired by as a child, just allow yourself to create them. Maybe it's a hobby you abandoned for decades, and so you feel like now it's too late for that, but it's never too late. I think it's the time to go back to whatever things you like to make as a child, create as a child. The creativity could be a key aspect for this. And if you never had a creative hobby as a child, maybe just think back to things you liked as a child and try to recreate those now as an adult, or recreate the situation of these childhood vibes by just sitting on the floor and doing whatever makes you feel like a little kid again. You can see this character's walking with his monster. He's just like proudly having his funny creations with him, not caring what anyone else thinks, just like walking with your funny imagination and monsters and creations. So I'm going to leave your reading there. Just, yeah, get creative, get like a little kid, allow yourself to get back in this childhood exploring and imagining mindset. No worries for adult stuff, no worries for impressing anyone. And I think doing that will help you feel more nurtured and accepted and connected and grounded. So please let me know what you thought of this reading in the comments. If you liked this, please like and subscribe, like the video and subscribe to my channel. And thank you. I'm going to move on to the next deck. Hi, pile 3. If you chose that pile, this is your reading. So I just did simple 5-card readings for this one. It's in the shape of the You Right Now reading if you watch that video. It's a similar overall meaning of each position. So we've got the Drizzy Big Void Energy card. It's a character from my game Monster Garden. There's a link in the description section if you want to check out my game. We've got the Sparkling Seedling card. We've got the Doofter High Hurdles card in reverse. Then we've got the Blue Men Observers from the Outside. You're getting all characters from my game Monster Garden so far. Maybe you should check out my game as a way to relax. It's a very relaxing game. Wow, and then in the center, we've got the Perception card. Clarity, clear vision. This is very interesting. And actually, when I was putting out the cards, I try to kind of just feel what the vibe of each deck is when I'm putting them out. And this one, I was kind of just getting the feeling of just wanting to savor mystery and feeling like a lot of potential. It can be very exciting when you just feel like you don't, like anything could happen, and savoring this feeling of being confronted with mystery and new things and unknown things. That can be very actually delightful and soothing and exciting. And I'm especially saying that because you got the Drizzy card. And this is the card. It's this monster who kind of sees that he's in a game. He kind of thinks this is nothing. It's just a game. I'm better than this, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of in the reverse position which it's in. It can be kind of nihilistic, like what's the point? It's all just a game. So I think when it feels like you understand everything, that's when things can feel pointless. It's like you can start to feel like, oh, this is the same as every day, and oh, I know what the outcome is here because it's always like this. That can kind of remove the sense of wonder. I feel like regaining the sense of wonder is key for this group, because the sparkling seedling, so at the surface, it's like getting past this nihilistic feeling of hopelessness. At the deeper level, it's the sparkling seedlings, which in my game, each seedling represents a new level of the game. Each seedling represents this whole new world to explore. Who knows what's going to be there, what monsters await, what is going to be in this seedling. They kind of represent growth, adventure, discovery, and like who knows what's around the corner. So like getting in touch with this is the deep core thing that's going to help you relax. And so yeah, and the two influences position, you got this like really Doofter is kind of this not sinister, but he's a potentially kind of mean character that always demands the best. He wants clear answers like, are you going to help me or not? Are you going to benefit me or not? If you're not, then I don't have time for you. It's very like harsh and practical, demanding the best energy. So I feel like it's escaping this feeling. This feeling and the Drizzy feeling is just like everything feels kind of stuck and hopeless, and it's really clear what's good and bad. Like it's very, yeah, it's just clearly delineated how things work, what the good result is and what the bad result is. That can feel really trapping. And that's never really the case because the world is so crazy and huge and open. Like, if you ever feel like you understand completely how the world works with no unknown elements remaining, then you're probably wrong because there's just too much in the world for any one person to understand. So you must be having some short-sightedness if you think that you totally understand what's possible and it's totally limited. Like, of course, we can be stuck in various situations, but there's just too much in the world to ever really know beyond a doubt what's possible and what could await you tomorrow. And then the other point is the blue men, observers from the outside. So these are kind of, they're characters from the second level of the game. They kind of like slipped in from another dimension and they're asking a lot of questions, gathering data, and then they zoom off at the end of the game to who knows where. It's like they're going to use this data they collected on your garden. In the game, you're kind of growing a garden and you bring monster friends there, but these are kind of neutral, mysterious monsters that just come, ask questions, then it's like they're zooming off. They're like, I see. And then they take that data off for some unknown project. So this is very unknown. It's recognizing that right now, whatever you're doing, this is kind of data that could be used in the future for this unknown project, and that there's no way to know now how these things are going to come to fruition or like become really significant in the future. Maybe right now you met a random person at the grocery store for a few seconds and you're like, okay, whatever. Then like in a year, you're going to work with them and suddenly that random grocery store encounter will be significant or something. It's about like unknown twists and turns in the future and like asking a lot of questions, being open-minded and absorbing things like a sponge, observing and absorbing. So I feel like that's key for you, is regaining the sense of wonder and curiosity, like what's really going on. Because the heart of the issue is this perception card in reverse. I feel like you might be getting stuck again in this feeling as if you're seeing everything completely, like there's no more mystery left. You've clearly perceived everything. Maybe you're stuck in this harsh, kind of pseudo brutal honesty where you're like, that's just the way it is. It's all hopeless. It's all like I can see what's good or bad is. Like this is about very harsh, specific standards and like feeling hopeless. I think you should be doing something that helps you regain this sense of wonder, sense of awe, and sense of mystery. So honestly, check out my game. It's all about exploring mystery, savoring mystery, discovering new monsters. I didn't mean to turn this into a promo. I didn't say this for the other piles, but you did get a lot of monsters from the game, so just gonna point that out. But I think I need to draw more cards to give some specific advice. Like I got the themes, but what can you really do to regain the sense of wonder? I mean, this one is about growing plants. You could try gardening. You could try cooking. You could try just like asking a lot of questions, things you always wondered, just looking up what the answer really is. Absorbing, kind of feeling like a student again, where you can observe and absorb new information. Let's just see some practical tips. How to regain this sense of childlike wonder. Hmm. This is interesting. Well, actually, let's get some more cards first. This is going to be an interesting one, I think. Regaining a sense of wonder for pile 3. Running low on cards because I put 5 or 6 in other 2 decks already. And so there's not that many cards, really. Wow. Wow. Interesting. I mean, this card is about attention. The character is kind of like the MC of a party. It says center of attention, but the point is that this character is very good at guiding other people's attention. So it's not that he himself is like the flamboyant star that everyone's focused on him. It's that he's very good at directing people's attention to the next thing. Like the MC of the event who is saying, ladies and gentlemen, next, look at this. The point is actually the show and what the MC is guiding them to. So it's all about directing your attention. It's also like fun social energy, lighthearted social energy, and group connections. But then you've got the monk distance let it be card. So like this meditative monk energy and this focus on attention, that kind of just seems like it's a focus on having a meditative practice or a spiritual practice. Something where you're focused, where you're focused and attentive on one thing. It could be just going for walks and like clearing your head that way. It could just be sitting still and slowing your mind down to focus on the moment. I feel like maybe your head is getting like very off in the clouds and even overwhelmed with this supposed perception of how things are and how things are hopeless and useless, and you need to like bring things back into the moment and not be so big picture lost in how hopeless these systems are. So this, I mean, meditative practices are a lot. It takes sticking to it for a while to really feel the results. But I think you can start just like by going on an evening walk. I feel like that's a great way to clear your head. If you can't do that, it could be sitting still in your room, even just laying on your bed and listening to music that you like, letting your mind relax. Just focus on the sounds and the music, whatever helps your mind focus. It could be, focusing on images by looking at pictures that you like, focusing just on the sounds of music that you like. Meditation, if you want to call it meditation, it could take many forms. The point is just letting your mind focus on one thing and just calming it down, bringing your focus into the moment. That can also come from gardening, one of these hobbies. Just being grounded on the moment, just, repotting these plants, watering some plants. It could be cooking something, just like, even if you're in the situation where the systems feel so big and hopeless, like this drizzy energy, there's, focus on something you do have control over. You could at least cook a delicious meal, at least a healthy meal. You do have control over that. You have control over what you put into your body. You can just let yourself focus on, I'm just going to focus on putting these ingredients together and making something nice for myself. And just focus on growing something. Then you see the results of what you made. So like it could be doing something where you're making something in a controlled manner, seeing the results, seeing that you did something, that you have control over your situation. You're not hopelessly lost in a gigantic mess of a world or a system. Anything like that is kind of has a meditative vibe to it. I think almost anything can be meditative, but generally something that's just where you can focus on what you're doing, not big multitasking, not overwhelming amounts of information at once. And the blue men are about observing and absorbing, just like letting yourself, just all you're going to do right now is listen to this song, just observe and absorb the sounds of it, and just see how it makes you feel. You don't have to like dance, or you don't have to do anything. Just seeing how your mind responds to listening to this, how you feel when you look at this or that. Just go for a walk and look at the things you walk by and just see how you feel about them. I feel like something like this, meditative and or creating something in a controlled manner, could be a really good hobby for you, for bringing you down into the moment and getting out of this it can be a really dangerous trap, this kind of pseudo rational, honest understanding of the world where you supposedly have it all figured out and everything's hopeless and you suck, which of course that's just never true. Like the world is complicated beyond our understanding for one, and you don't suck. So if that's how you're feeling, then you might be I mean, I don't want to just say wrong, but I mean, you might be well, wrong, just to be blunt. I hope this advice helps you. And yeah, please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this reading. And please like this video and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you can stay updated on new videos. I really, really appreciate that you watched this. And also feel free to comment any topics for videos that you'd like to see. A friend commented this one and it was a really fun reading topic, so let me know any others that you would like to see. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!